it's Ashley here, and today I want to talk to you about dry brushing. I want to explain how you need to do it, what it is good for, and all the brush options. I know you would think, well, it's just a dry brush. Not really. There is also a special at-home modality that not only does lymphatic drainage, but also helps diminish fine lines and wrinkles as well as contour your face. I know. It's awesome. I actually just did it, and I just did my dry brushing for my body, and then I also did the lymphatic drainage on my face. And so I thought to myself, I'm going to do the podcast now because I feel so wonderful. But before I begin, I want to give you my quote of the day. You know I'm a big reader and I love quotes, so here is this one for you. It's by Pete Wentz. Just because today is a terrible day doesn't mean tomorrow might not be the best day of your entire life. You just have to wake up and get there. Okay, so let's first talk about lymphatic drainage. What's the big deal and what is the purpose? It's actually a really big deal. So you have over 600 lymph nodes in your body, and I want you to think of these lymph nodes as a filter device. The lymph is a fluid that is used to trap bacteria and viruses or other sicknesses. And so it does this so it won't infect other areas of your body. And then it stores them in the lymph nodes. Now your lymph nodes need to get rid of all this yucky stuff, right? And it needs to get rid of it through the lymphatic system. So I want you to think of your lymphatic system as a main defense against viruses and bacteria. Now, here is the key part. Oh my word. You can tell I have kids. Now, here is the key part. Your lymphatic system does not have a pumping system to clear the lymph nodes. So your body needs to do it for itself. So how is your body going to do it? Well, your body needs exercise, deep breathing, and through those things, it helps move the lymph out of your lymph nodes into the lymphatic system so it can eliminate these toxins that I just talked about. So you can see how the lymphatic system can get blocked. There are days where, I don't know, some of y'all may be avid exercise enthusiasts and you're like doing it every day. Some of you may do your deep breathing exercises every day, but some of us over here may not be exercising every day based off life or whatever and not able to do those deep breathing exercises. So what can you do? We're going to get to that in a second with the dry brushing. But what happens when it gets blocked? Okay. When it gets blocked, you can have an impaired system, which can contribute to joint pain, colds, flus, sinus problems, water retention, heart disease, cancer, inflammation, swelling, and on and on. So, as I mentioned before, we have over 600 collection sites known as the lymph nodes in our body, and they need to be cleared. And in us women, I do want you to keep in mind that in our armpits is where the breast lymph goes. Behind our ear, neck, and chest area for our face is where you want to clear that out to get the contouring and the depuffing. So for the face, I like to use the special at-home modality that I'm going to get to in a minute. You're welcome in advance. For the rest of the body, I like to use a dry brush to clear out the lymph nodes and get that lymphatic system moving. So on those days where you're not able to exercise or you're just, wanting to get an extra pick-me-up, help your body move that stuff around, especially in the fall when there's a lot of viruses and colds and flus and all that stuff, or you're bloating and having some water retention, maybe you ate a lot of salt, or it's your time of the month, that kind of thing. The lymphatic system, getting it moving, is what you're going to want, and that's where the dry brushing comes in. The main lymph node sites that you can focus on are in the neck, the arms, and the groin, and also like around the chest area. So this is where, again, dry brushing can help stimulate the lymphatic system. So right now you're probably like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that Amazon has a 2-day delivery system right now. And before you get to that, I put the ones my sister and I like and use in our online beauty store. That can be found in lindsayholder.com, or it can be found inside our free anti-aging membership. I'll also, those of you that are driving and riding around right now or walking, I'll make sure that the link is in the description section so you can easily find them. Reason being is that there are so many out there, and I have used so many different kinds in the past because I've been dry brushing for a long time now, and so many of them have broken on me, and it's so frustrating. And the one I put in the description in our store, oh my goodness, I love it. I love my dry brush so much. So anyways, but before you order one, I want you to keep listening because I want to explain what type of brush you want for your body, and then what type of device you want for your face and neck and chest. So let's talk about the body first. So you want a long-handled dry brush so you can reach behind your back and also get to your and also get to your legs and those hard-to-reach places without hurting your back or twisting it the wrong way. So that's why I like the long-handled one. Also, this is really important. You want to clean your brush. So if you're like, well, how do I clean my brush? Feel free to ask me how to clean your brush or any other questions you have about this inside our free membership. There is an Ask Your Questions Here section, and again, it's free. So it's just easier for Lindsay and I to communicate with you if we put all the questions and answers in one spot, because in the past we've had it just everywhere, and then we can't get to people. So we're like, okay, we need to put it in one spot, one platform, boom. So that's why we created the free membership. How to dry brush. So you want to do your dry brushing right before showering, and you are going to do the dry brush on your dry skin. So you do not want to apply any lotions. You don't want your body to be wet. And as you're doing the dry brushing, I want you to think up, 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 up towards your heart, okay? Then when you get to the breast area, think brushing outwards towards your armpits, because you want to move that lymph fluids into the lymph nodes in the armpit so then it can get drained into your lymphatic system and get rid of it. Then when you get to the groin area, I want you to do it up to the groin from your leg, but above your groin, like the lower belly area, you want to brush it down to the groin, okay? And you want to put the lymph fluid to those lymph node sites. Again, the groins, the armpits, the chest, and the neck area. So what I do is I begin with my feet, the top of my feet. I do several mini upward strokes up to my knees. Then I take that and I do it from my knees to my whole rear end area. And I get the entire leg and behind the knees too. I then do several mini upward strokes on the side of my groin area to stimulate the lymph nodes there. I then continue up my bottom and up my stomach and on the sides of my stomach, brushing upwards. When I get to my breast, I stop and then I focus on my hands, like literally be putting my hands up into a V motion up above my head. And so I'll start focusing on my hands and brushing upwards towards my shoulders and then my armpits. And then I take my breast from the middle point area in between my breasts and I brush outwards to the armpits. I want you to do this gently. You do not have to brush hard to stimulate the lymphatic system. I'm going to repeat that. You do not have to brush hard to stimulate the lymphatic system. There is no need to rub your skin raw. I want you to be kind and gentle and have a light touch. The dry brush is very sturdy, stiff, and so you want to have a light touch. And then the first time you do it, it's going to it might you're going to get a rush of, ooh, this is kind of rejuvenating. At least I do. And I've gotten to where my skin craves it now. I love doing it. So if I were you, really get on a schedule. And if you want to know when I do it, I love it. Anyways, back to the breast. So I find this is extremely important considering all the breast cancer that so many women unfortunately get. So I really try to focus on my breast and push it out to the armpit lymph area. And then I will do my back and I will brush upwards, and then I stop when I get to my chest. Okay. I will explain my chest in a minute, but before I forget, after you've dry brushed, I want you to hop in the shower. And then afterwards, what I like to do is I like to massage the lotion onto my damp skin all over my body so it will hydrate it. All right. Now let's talk about the face and the neck. This is where I switch from my dry brush that I use on my body to that special modality I mentioned before. And that special modality that I use on my face and my chest is called a high frequency machine. So what is this high frequency machine? It is, by the way, it's an at-home device now, so you can, and you know me, I love at-home devices. I love doing beauty care, skincare regimes, all that stuff from my home. I just love it. So a high frequency machine is a healing electrical current that promotes circulation and it nourishes your skin. And y'all, I researched a ton to find the best at-home device because there's lots out there. And the things I was looking for is I wanted it to have different applicators so that you could do it for different parts of your face and your body. I wanted it to have a padded case to protect the vacuum sealed glass applicators because we're dealing with glass. I also wanted it to have a strong current so it could achieve the results I wanted at home. So again, I'll link it in the description below. It's also in our free anti-aging membership. We have an online beauty store there, but I'll try to remember to put it in the notes below. And I want to mention this before I explain how I use it, that before and after, I want you to sanitize your glass applicators with rubbing alcohol. So I'll get a piece of gauze or, a cotton ball or whatever. I'll put rubbing alcohol on that, and then I will lightly wipe the applicator off. Unplugged, of course. Okay, unplug it, please. It does have electricity running through it, so unplug, unplug, unplug. Okay, how to use it. So with this at-home device, the high frequency machine, you can either use an oil or you can use gauze. So why do you need to use these? Well, you want to use one of these because the glass applicators have a very mild electrical current. So basically when you plug in the device, the gas goes into the glass instrument and it becomes electrified. And then when it comes in contact with your skin, the electrified gas has a chemical reaction that creates an ozone of oxygen. So when this ozone is on your skin, it works magic. It increases the circulation, it reduces inflammation and congestion, and it helps move that lymph fluid. So that's where it's going to help with your lymphatic drainage. Okay. Now I like to begin with a cleansed dry face. You do not want a wet face because you're dealing with electrical current. So cleanse your face first and then go ahead and dry it. And then what I like to do is I apply one of my favorite facial oils. And again, I went ahead and because there's lots of oils out there, I only want the best for my skin, but at a price point that I can afford. So I went ahead and placed the ones that, those of you that know, my sister is a licensed master esthetician. So I placed the ones that Lindsay and I both use in our beauty store, which is linked. And I put those on my face and my neck. So again, why facial oil? Because you want the machine head to glide across your skin so that you can properly do the lymph drainage. You don't want it to tug at your skin because what you're going to want to do is you are basically kind of thinking that you're dragging that lymph fluid to your lymph nodes, okay? And if you don't want to use facial oils, that's fine. Then instead what you can do is you can use a piece of gauze. So if you've ever been in a treatment room, the esthetician will place a facial gauze all over your face because he or she is performing this treatment and you're lying down. However, I'm not lying down when I do any of my at-home devices. I'm looking in the mirror or I am watching a movie or researching something or blah, blah, blah. So what you can do is you can get a small piece of gauze and either tie it with a tiny little rubber band around the head of the applicator. And when I say tiny, I mean like really tiny, like those like little thin ones that you can put in your hair, or think of like the rubber bands that are on braces. Okay, you're wanting something that small. Or you can just wrap the gauze around the top of the head of the applicator and hold it with your finger. I also put the gauze in our shop as well, so you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, where is it? What do I find? I don't know what you're talking about. I went ahead and put it in our shop. So you plug in the device, and I want you to set it to the lowest setting, okay? So that when you turn it on, you should hear a buzzing sound, and just keep it at the lowest setting, because I want you to get a feel for the machine and how it works with your skin. Then, once you've plugged it in, you've turned it on, I want you to place your finger on the glass part of the applicator, just like the stem, and you're doing that because you want to ground the machine. And when you ground the machine, it will avoid you getting a tiny shock of current. Once the machine is on your skin, then you want to lift your finger off the glass part and just place it down at the bottom so that the current can flow. You want the current to flow while it's on your skin so you can get the effects. And it's so cool, y'all. You'll see it light up into like an orange color. It's so fun. You're going to feel so professional. It's fun. Then you will glide it across your face. I do it in circular motions, and I do it under the eyes, back and forth, so that you can grab that lymph fluid and then drag it down across the jawline and then down the neck. And then I also go up the forehead, and then I'll go all the way down and behind the ear and down the neck. So typically what I like to do is I like to divide my face in fours, and I'll do 1 to 2 minutes on each area. And then when you've completed it, you're going to want to put your finger back on that glass node, the long stem part, and you will remove the applicator off your face. And then you can, of course, unplug it and then clean it, as I mentioned above. I love the jawline area and under my chin for the contouring effects. I also love the forehead for my soft lines and wrinkles. I love to do the 11s. And also I love doing my chest for soft lines, and also, underneath my eyes to depuff and help with under eye bags, and also the crow's feet too. I just get it all, y'all. Okay, time for your chest. Same process. You want to begin with a clean, dry chest and apply it with facial oil. Again, if you don't want to do facial oil, you can use gauze. You put your finger on the glass node stem, apply the glass applicator to your chest, lift your finger off the applicator, and begin in circular and sweeping motions. When you're done, you're going to put your finger on the stem and lift it off the chest. Unplug it, clean the applicator with alcohol, and you're done. Again, as I mentioned before, I put the oils and the high frequency machine that I like and we both use in the description. I do want to mention that the one that I love, it comes with several different attachment heads, which was important to me. I love the mushroom one. It literally looks like a button mushroom. And I love that one for my face and my jawline. And then I love the one looks like a spoon. So I like to do that underneath my eyes for that depuffing effect and to move the lymph out of the area. There's a upside, it looks like a U. I love to use that for under my chin area because that part starts to, sag. And then they've got a little one that you can zap a zit if you want to know how to do this with acne. Happy to help. Just shoot me a message and I'll explain how you do that. You're going to love me for that. And there's also one for your hair. So if you want to use that one because maybe your hair is thinning and you need to, you need some help with that, shoot me a question if you're interested in that. I'll explain how to do it. I love it. But I do want to mention that, again, as we age, our lymphatic system starts to slow down. It's a natural process, but This will cause our face to be puffy and have more sagging in the jawline. So we just want to help our bodies get the yucky stuff moving out of our head area and also to help get some more contour. So just to sum it up, lymph drainage, I want you to think of it as it hydrates the skin, it removes the toxins, it relaxes your facial muscles, and it increases circulation to nourish your skin. So that's it for today, and I am wishing you a healthy and happy day, and until next time. Oh, and here is my disclaimer, okay? Real quick, you always want to check with your doctor before using any at-home modality. And this one, don't use this if you have heart issues, okay? If you have a pacemaker, anything like that. If you're pregnant, thinking that you may be pregnant, breastfeeding, you have seizures, all that stuff, check with your doc. Please check with your doc. Okay, now, again, I wish you another healthy and happy day.